I think the absolute unadulterated frankness of what I had to say.
Jimmy Carter, often labeled a failed leader, is remembered as a profound humanitarian. Serving as the 39th President of the United States, he endured severe personal and political trials before reluctantly relinquishing his esteemed office. Despite facing harsh criticism and enduring low approval ratings during his presidency, Carter's undeniable contributions to the nation's progress remain significant. Following his exit from politics, he retreated into a quiet existence unlike any other, yet his legacy continued to inspire countless young minds. In this video, let's discover the reason why Jimmy had to say goodbye. Jimmy Carter's presidency, though often overshadowed by its challenges, offers a complex narrative that extends beyond its initial reception. Bred in the humble environs of Plains, Georgia, Carter's early life was marked by the simple, hard-working ethos of his family's farm. This upbringing instilled in him resilience and a deep connection to the values of rural America. The challenges Carter faced upon assuming the presidency were monumental. Inflation gripped the nation. The energy crisis loomed large, and the specters of conflict in Afghanistan and the hostage crisis in Iran tested both his leadership and the resolve of the American people. Despite these trials, Carter approached his duties with a sense of steadiness, guided by a moral compass shaped by his upbringing. Carter's tenure in office, though brief, witnessed moments of profound significance. His commitment to human rights, exemplified by his advocacy for the Camp David Accords, stands as a testament to his idealism and vision for a more peaceful world. Moreover, his efforts to address energy dependence and promote conservation laid the groundwork for future environmental policies. While Carter's presidency ended in electoral defeat, his legacy has undergone a re-evaluation in subsequent years. Beyond the glare of political theater, his integrity, courage, and commitment to public service have earned him newfound respect. Alongside his predecessor Gerald Ford, Carter played a vital role in restoring the balance of power within the constitutional system, pushing back against the excesses of the imperial presidency. Moreover, Carter's personal background adds layers to his story. As the first American president born in a hospital, his life symbolizes the changing landscape of 20th century America. His upbringing in a household without electricity or indoor plumbing underscores the resilience and resourcefulness that defined his character. Central to Carter's upbringing was the influence of his mother, Ms. Lillian, whose defiance of segregation to provide health care to African American women left an indelible mark on her son. Her example of compassion and courage shaped Carter's commitment to justice and equality, guiding his actions both in office and beyond. His formative years at Plains High School laid the foundation for his future endeavors, where he distinguished himself as valedictorian of his class. However, it was Carter's thirst for exploration and his fascination with the tales of distant lands that propelled him toward a different path. Inspired by his uncle's adventures in the U.S. Navy, Carter set his sights on the U.S. Naval Academy, eager to embark on his own voyage of discovery. At the Naval Academy, Carter's dedication and intellect shone brightly. Graduating in 1946 in the top 10th of his class, he demonstrated not only academic prowess, but also a keen sense of leadership and commitment. It was during this time that Carter's trajectory intersected with a figure who would leave an indelible mark on his life and career, Captain Hyman Rickover. Under Rickover's mentorship, Carter found himself immersed in the pioneering world of nuclear submarines. Rickover, known for his tough yet inspirational leadership style, recognized Carter's potential and took him under his wing. Together, they embarked on a journey to shape the future of naval technology, with Carter playing a vital role in the Navy's first experimental nuclear submarine. Rickover's influence extended beyond the confines of the submarine. He served as a mentor and a role model for Carter, instilling in him the values of discipline, perseverance, and innovation. As Rickover rose through the ranks to become an admiral and spearhead America's nuclear submarine force, Carter's admiration for his mentor only deepened, shaping his own approach to leadership and service. In 1953, Jimmy Carter found himself at a crossroads, facing a pivotal moment that would shape the course of his life and career. With the passing of his father, Earl, to cancer, Carter and his new wife, Rosalind, confronted a difficult decision. The family peanut farm, Earl's legacy, and his mother's livelihood teetered on the brink of collapse. Faced with the prospect of losing the farm, Carter made the courageous choice to resign from the Navy and return to Georgia to salvage what remained of his family's heritage. The decision to leave behind a promising career in the military was not taken lightly, but for Carter, family came first. Armed with determination and a sense of duty, he and Rosalind embarked on a journey to breathe new life into the struggling farm. The early years were marked by hardship and uncertainty as they grappled with financial challenges and the daunting task of revitalizing the business. Yet, through sheer grit and perseverance, the Carters weathered the storm, and the farm gradually began to thrive once more. Amidst the demands of farm life, Carter remained deeply rooted in his community and faith. He embraced his role as a deacon and Sunday school teacher at Plains Baptist Church, finding solace and strength in his religious convictions. Moreover, Carter's commitment to service extended beyond the church walls, as he became increasingly involved in local civic affairs. His tenure on various civic boards provided a platform for Carter to channel his passion for reform and accountability. With a reputation as a tough and independent operator, he fearlessly tackled wasteful government practices, advocating for efficiency and transparency. Moreover, Carter emerged as a staunch advocate for civil rights, actively working to dismantle discriminatory laws that disenfranchised African Americans. This dedication to justice and equality was further underscored during Carter's tenure in the Georgia State Senate. Elected to 2 terms, he continued his crusade against injustice, earning a reputation as a principled and tenacious legislator. His efforts to repeal laws designed to suppress African American voting rights marked a significant victory in the ongoing struggle for civil rights in the South. The sting of defeat in the 1966 gubernatorial race served as a poignant reminder of the entrenched divisions within Georgia society, particularly regarding issues of segregation and civil rights. Carter's defeat at the hands of a staunch segregationist opponent, Lester Maddox, cast a shadow over his political aspirations. Despite his steadfast commitment to civil rights and inclusion, Carter found himself outmaneuvered by the mobilization of segregationist whites, who rallied behind Maddox in unprecedented numbers. The loss was a bitter pill to swallow for Carter, who grappled with the realization that his progressive vision for Georgia was met with resistance from entrenched interests. In the aftermath of this defeat, Carter faced a crucial decision in his quest for political redemption. Recognizing the need to court the support of segregationist voters, he adopted a pragmatic approach in his bid for the governorship in 1970. This strategy involved minimizing appearances before African American groups and even seeking the endorsements of avowed segregationists, a move that would later draw criticism as hypocritical. However, Carter's pursuit of political expediency was not without its ethical dilemmas. Critics pointed to the apparent contradiction between his professed commitment to civil rights and his willingness to court the favor of segregationists for electoral gain. Yet, for Carter, the imperative of winning the governorship and effecting change from within the system outweighed concerns about ideological purity. Upon assuming the governorship of Georgia in 1971, Carter faced a pivotal moment that would test the sincerity of his convictions. In a surprising turn of events, he seized the opportunity to confront Georgia's legacy of segregation head-on. In a bold declaration, Carter proclaimed that the era of segregation was over, signaling a dramatic shift in the state's political landscape. Jimmy Carter's path to the presidency in 1976 was marked by a combination of strategic maneuvering, fortuitous timing, and unexpected twists of fate. As he observed the landslide defeat of Democratic presidential candidate George McGovern in 1972, Carter recognized the need to position himself as a different kind of Democrat to stand a chance at winning the White House. At the outset of his presidential campaign, Carter faced a formidable challenge. He was virtually unknown on the national stage. However, in the wake of the Watergate scandal that engulfed the Nixon administration, Carter's relative obscurity became an unexpected asset. As public trust in political institutions reached historic lows, Carter emerged as a fresh face untainted by the corruption and cronyism that had defined Washington in the Nixon era. Moreover, Carter benefited from the shifting dynamics within the Republican Party following Nixon's resignation. With Nixon and Vice President Spiro Agnew out of the picture, the Republican ticket was led by Gerald Ford, a political insider with a lackluster public persona. Ford's reputation was further marred by a series of infamous incidents, including his notorious tendency to stumble and fall down stairs on camera, which undermined his credibility as a leader. Against this backdrop of political upheaval and disillusionment, Carter's message of integrity, morality, and accountability resonated with voters across the country. Despite early setbacks, including an ill-advised interview with Playboy magazine that temporarily dented his popularity, Carter's grassroots campaign gained momentum as he crisscrossed the nation, connecting with voters on a personal level and articulating a vision for a brighter future. In a dramatic showdown on election night, Carter emerged victorious by a narrow margin, clinching a hard-fought victory against Ford. His triumph signaled a new era in American politics, marked by a desire for change and a rejection of the status quo. As he prepared to assume the highest office in the land, Carter's journey from relative obscurity to the presidency embodied the spirit of hope and renewal that defined the post-Watergate era. Despite his earnest intentions, Carter's status as a political newcomer soon became apparent in his struggles to forge consensus with Congress. His efforts to enact key components of his agenda, such as a comprehensive consumer protection bill, were stymied by a lack of support on Capitol Hill, highlighting the challenges of governing in a divided political climate. One of Carter's most ambitious goals was to liberate the nation from its dependence on foreign oil, a goal he pursued through a combination of measures aimed at promoting alternative energy sources and deregulating domestic oil pricing. However, Carter's plans were derailed by external factors beyond his control, most notably the formation of a pricing cartel by OPEC, the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. The resulting surge in oil prices sent shockwaves through the American economy, exacerbating inflationary pressures and precipitating a severe recession. Amidst these economic challenges, Carter grappled with a series of public scandals that further eroded his administration's credibility. Foremost among these was the revelation of a mysterious $250,000 payment by the government of Libya to Carter's brother Billy. The revelation of this payment raised troubling questions about potential conflicts of interest and cast a shadow over the integrity of the Carter presidency. These early setbacks underscored the formidable obstacles facing Carter as he sought to enact his vision for America. Despite his best efforts, Carter found himself increasingly hamstrung by a combination of external economic forces, political gridlock, and internal controversies. Yet, amidst the turmoil and uncertainty, Carter remained resolute in his determination to confront the nation's most pressing challenges and uphold the principles of integrity and accountability. The foreign policy landscape during Jimmy Carter's presidency was fraught with challenges and controversies as he grappled with a series of crises that tested both his leadership and diplomatic acumen. From the Panama Canal to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, Carter's approach to international affairs drew criticism from all sides of the political spectrum. One of the most contentious issues of Carter's presidency was his decision to pursue the relinquishment of control over the Panama Canal, a move that ignited fierce opposition from conservative critics who viewed it as a betrayal of American interests. Despite Carter's efforts to negotiate a treaty with Panama aimed at transferring control of the canal to the Panamanian government, the agreement faced significant resistance in Congress and among segments of the American public. Similarly, Carter's response to Soviet aggression in Afghanistan drew criticism for its perceived weakness and ineffectiveness. In an effort to pressure the Soviet Union, Carter announced a series of punitive measures, including the boycott of the 1980 Olympics in Moscow and the suspension of grain exports to the Soviet Union. However, these actions did little to deter Soviet aggression in Afghanistan, and Carter's approach was widely derided as inadequate by his political opponents. Carter's foreign policy decisions also faced scrutiny from within his own party, particularly regarding his efforts to normalize relations with Communist China and negotiate arms control agreements with the Soviet Union. While these initiatives represented an extension of Nixon's China policy and a continuation of efforts to reduce nuclear tensions during the Cold War, they were met with skepticism and criticism from conservative factions within the Republican Party. However, it was the Iran hostage crisis that would come to define Carter's presidency on the international stage. When Ayatollah Khomeini seized power in Iran, the United States offered sanctuary to the deposed Shah, a decision that inflamed tensions with the new Iranian government. In retaliation, Iranian militants stormed the American embassy in Tehran, taking over 50 Americans hostage and triggering a protracted diplomatic standoff. Carter's handling of the hostage crisis was widely criticized as ineffectual and indecisive, and his administration's efforts to secure the hostages' release, including a failed rescue mission in 1980, only served to further erode confidence in his leadership. Despite negotiating their release shortly before leaving office, the protracted ordeal had taken a heavy toll on Carter's presidency. Then, despite his defeat in the 1980 election at the hands of Ronald Reagan, Carter remained steadfast in his commitment to serving the public good, eschewing the lucrative opportunities that awaited many former presidents in the corporate world. Plains, a small speck of peanut and cotton farmland, stood as a symbol of resilience in the face of adversity. Despite its bucolic charm, the town grappled with economic challenges, with a poverty rate that hovered around 40%. Yet for Carter, Plains was more than just a backdrop. It was a testament to the enduring spirit of rural America and the values of hard work, community, and humility that had guided his own journey. In the aftermath of his presidency, Carter faced a pivotal choice: to capitalize on his status as a former president for personal gain, or to uphold the principles of integrity and service that had guided his life and career. In a decision that reflected his unwavering commitment to ethical leadership, Carter chose the latter path, opting not to join corporate boards or give speeches for big money. Carter's decision to forego lucrative post-presidential opportunities set him apart from many of his predecessors, including his close friend and predecessor, Gerald Ford, who had embraced the world of high-paid corporate speaking engagements. Instead, Carter dedicated himself to a different kind of post-presidential life, one focused on humanitarian work, diplomacy, and philanthropy. Recently, despite entering hospice care, typically reserved for those with less than 6 months to live, Carter has continued to surpass the odds, confounding medical prognoses and demonstrating a resilience that has become synonymous with his character. For many around the world, the past 12 months have been a time of reflection and tribute as they honor the enduring legacy of a man who has dedicated his life to service and compassion. Yet, even as others seek to impose their timetables and expectations upon him, Carter has remained steadfast in his determination to live life on his own terms. In the realm of hospice care, where the end of life is often marked by a swift decline, Carter has emerged as an outlier, challenging conventional wisdom and rewriting the narrative of what it means to face mortality with grace and dignity. While many who enter hospice care spend only a short time there before passing away, Carter has surpassed all expectations, defying the statistics and continuing to embrace each day with resilience and courage. As the world watches in awe, Carter's longevity has become a testament to the power of the human spirit to transcend adversity and defy the limitations of age. From his record-breaking status as the oldest living president to his enduring marriage to Rosalind, Carter has never been one to conform to expectations or limitations set by others. For those who know him best, Carter's refusal to be bound by anyone else's timetable comes as no surprise. Throughout his life, he has charted his own course, guided by a steadfast commitment to his principles and a deep sense of purpose. Whether in the White House or in his twilight years, Carter has always lived life on his own terms, embracing each moment with humility, grace, and an unwavering dedication to making a difference in the world. Jimmy Carter's public appearance in November was a deeply emotional and poignant moment, not only for those who were present, but also for millions around the world who witnessed the scene unfold. At the funeral services for his beloved wife of 77 years, Rosalind Carter, who had passed away at the age of 96, Jimmy Carter's presence was a testament to the depth of his love and devotion. As he was wheeled into the church, Carter cut a frail figure, his once vigorous frame now diminished by the passage of time and the weight of his grief. Covered by a blanket to ward off the chill, and with his mouth agape in silent anguish, Carter's appearance shocked friends, family, and admirers alike. Yet, despite his physical frailty, there was an unmistakable determination in his eyes, a resolve to be there for his beloved wife, no matter the cost. For those who knew him best, Carter's presence at the funeral was a profound testament to his unwavering commitment to Rosalind, even in the face of his own frailty and sorrow. Family members revealed that Carter's decision to attend the funeral was driven by a deep-seated desire to ensure that his wife was never left alone, even in death, a poignant reflection of the profound bond that had united them for nearly 8 decades. Indeed, Carter's steadfast devotion to Rosalind had been a defining feature of their remarkable partnership, which had weathered the trials and triumphs of a lifetime together. From their humble beginnings in Plains, Georgia, to the corridors of power in the White House and beyond, the Carters had stood side by side, facing the challenges of life with courage, resilience, and unwavering love. As Jimmy Carter sat among mourners, his presence spoke volumes about the depth of his love and the enduring legacy of a partnership that had stood the test of time. Despite the sadness that enveloped him, there was also a sense of peace, a reassurance that, even in death, their love would endure, binding them together for eternity. What do you think about Jimmy Carter's goodbye? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.